Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're with us today, and we're going to sing about how your soul is welcome here. You are in the right place at the right time.
Just where you are meant to be, whether you are live streaming or here in person, we're going to sing about it. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome.
Your soul is welcome.
Your soul is welcome.
Your soul.
All souls are welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Yeah. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. Welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Soul is
Well, good morning. Good morning, Patty. Good to have you here this morning as you do your thing to fill in for Reverend Deborah, who's under the weather and going through a healing, cleansing experience. So glad to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here. And we greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy. And in the warm and loving energy of our spiritual community, Spiritual Life Center honors all people, worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that there is no space that God does not grace. If this is your first time joining us, online or on site, we especially welcome you because we know you are not here by accident. We are all here by divine appointment. And we'd really appreciate it if you would silence all your electronic devices, your cell phones, and refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, let's take this moment to commune with this presence as we remember our purpose and reason for being here as a community, because we're about transforming lives to make a positive difference in our world. And as we recognize that we have a big job to do, and we're all up to it because we have everything that we have been necessary. We've been endowed with all that we need to carry forth that magnificent and high purpose. The Spirit of the living God needs us to shine God's light. We are the way that the presence of God gets around in this dimension. So we raise our awareness to be in tune with this presence so that everywhere that we go, we shine a little light so that where there appears to be darkness, we bring forth the truth. And the truth is that each and every one of us are unique, unrepeatable expressions of the Spirit of the living God. We have all the qualities of this presence, and we simply remind each other of this truth through the words that we speak, the thoughts that we have, the actions that we take. And as we do, we anchor a little bit more of this divine love in our life and in our world. And for this, we're grateful and thankful as we go forth doing our part to expand and amplify the all good on the very planet in which we live. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, as you know, we have our important mission that helps fulfill our purpose, and I invite you to join in as we affirm it together. To transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission as we live out these 5 basic universal principles to the best of our ability and make them a part of our awareness. Again, let us speak them together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. Well, one of the things that we do each year between the anniversaries of the death of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King is acknowledge the principles that they taught in the season for nonviolence. So across the country, across the world for that matter, there are many organizations, individuals, and communities who are participating in this season for nonviolence. And one of the things that we do is have a reading around one of the principles that these individuals taught, and have an individual share with us their perspective on it. So we have this morning our board president, Josie Johnson, who's going to come forward and share our reading for our season for nonviolence. So welcome, Josie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today, I smile, have fun, and laugh. God's irrepressible life force expresses within me as a never-ending fountain of joy. Today, I am aware that at the very center of my being is an endless source of energy, vigor, and enthusiasm. Expressing as God's radiance and light, I become as a child and seek new ways to play and have fun. Perhaps I walk through the day smiling at everyone I see, sharing jokes or funny stories. I engage in activities that warm my heart and lift my spirit. I dance through the day, knowing that life is good and each moment is a precious gift. I choose smiling, fun, and laughter in every moment of this day. So what this means to me, I love this reading, it's just for me. My smile is my gift to the world. Last Friday night, we went to Notes and Jokes here that Sally had put on. We laughed and had so much fun, and laughter is healing to my spirit. So what I will choose for myself is to always seek joy, fun, and laughter for my life.
Thank you, Josie. And February is a time to celebrate birthdays. So any birthdays in February, we invite you to please stand. We can acknowledge you. And I'm standing, so that means me. They just keep.
I know this because he was already standing, but this is James' birthday month.
Yeah. Yeah, and they keep coming fast.
Well, Wednesday, February 22nd, his birthday, we will once again offer our Phoenix Rising and Ash Wednesday service. We mark the start of Lent together as we release the past with the burning bowl ritual. We affirm our connection to the divine with chanting and sacred ash on our foreheads, and we each take away our Phoenix Rising coin to remind us of the truth of our being. Join Reverend Janae Marth and Reverend Deborah Phillips for this annual releasing and remembering. Music with Lorraine Shiflett.
And I don't know if you remember Laurel and Hardy back in the day. I may be dating myself a little bit, but if you're a Laurel and Hardy fan, we have some great news. The local Laurel and Hardy group, A Fine Mess, which is an excellent name for a group, shows movies each month right here at Spiritual Life Center, and everyone is invited to view Babes in Toyland. That's going to be next Sunday between 1 and 3:30 p.m., and you don't have to have a reservation. Just show up and join the fun. So we invite you to be part of the Laurel and Hardy show next week.
And our heart-to-heart conversations continue. I'd like to welcome Pam Logan to share more with us.
Good morning. As Jim said, I'm Pam Logan, and I serve on the Evolutionary Council, which is comprised of 3 people, and that's Brittany Jorgensen and Ruth Risos. And what we are charged with is creating and implementing a survey of our members, and that includes people that just come online or do Facebook or whatever, that we want to know what you think and feel about SLC. We want to know how it feeds your soul, and we want to know if you have things and dreams that you'd like to see materialize here. So that's what it's all about. And what it means, the heart-to-heart talks or interviews are about a 30 to 60-minute conversation that you would have with a facilitator that has been trained to ask questions that we need to kind of pull out the information that we're looking for. And so who can participate? It's all of you. We want to hear your voices. We want to know what you think and what you feel and help to develop our future. So when the talks are all done, we will be completing a report, and that report will go to the board and to all of you as well. It will be posted so that you can see what is it that we're desiring to see for our future. And our future means what we've been talking about is transforming lives. So you're probably here because your life has been transformed by SLC. So tell us why. What was it that brought you here, and what's feeding you? And what would you like to see? I know there's some people out there that have some things that they'd like that we may not be providing. So we have a sign up outside in the courtyard, and so please sign up. And for those that are online, we have online sign up. So we can do telephone calls, we can meet in person, or we can do Zoom. And again, it's only 30 to 60 minutes of your life. So, and I want to thank everybody that has signed up. And we've had a few glitches, technical and life glitches that have kept us from reaching our goals. So some of you may have signed up and not heard anything yet, but we're on full board now. So we look forward to meeting with all of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Well, as you may be aware of that, we're going to have Dr. Garland Landreth, who's going to be our speaker on February the 26th. Yes, he's been here before. I think people really liked him. And and as a child, he had dreams of manifesting those dreams in his waking life. And he traveled to India and China during that time. And he had a near-death experience and made the decision to do scientific research on the idea that our inner consciousness is connected to the same force that created the whole universe. And he was in this movie a while back, for many of you may know, called What the Bleep by Dr. Deepak Chopra and Neil Donald Walsh. He's been on lots of radio programs and TV programs, taught before 30,000 different people across the country. on how to manifest their dreams and letting go of their intentions. So I believe we have a video from him to share about his upcoming event here at Spiritual Life Center.
Hi, I'm Garland Landreth, and you might have heard of my research in the movie What to Bleep. And in that movie, we talked about how we took 4,000 transcendental meditators into Washington, D.C. and actually reduced the crime rates while we were there. Now, in this seminar, what you'll be learning is how to create the life of your dreams by using cutting-edge techniques combined with quantum field technology. Now, to date, I've probably taught well over 30,000 people how to manifest the life of their dreams. And one of the questions I always ask in all my seminars is how many people know what their problems are, but they keep making the same mistake over and over again. And of course, everybody raises their hands. Well, that's not your fault. These are simply old brain pathways that are structured in your subconscious that have been holding you back. And so what we're going to do in this seminar is teach you how to create an entirely new brain matrix. That is by combining these three amazing techniques. First one is EFT and tapping. The second one is Ho'oponopono. And the third one is heart math. The new frontier in energy work is the subconscious. In fact, Bruce Lipton and Deepak Chopra have both said that unless we can somehow clear out the subconscious, we're not going to be able to manifest very well. And remember this, if you are wanting something, you're attracting lack because you don't have it. So what we're going to do with these techniques is teach you how to gain inner abundance so that you attract outer abundance to you. And it works beautifully. These techniques are cutting edge, and I've seen them work over and over again. I'm excited about helping you on your journey.
It's going to be great. So we invite you to be part of that on February the 26th. Well, we're going to have Josie Johnson to come back once again. She's doing double duty today. She's going to give our Board of Trustees update, something that we do every month. So welcome back our Board President, Josie Johnson.
Getting my exercise. Thank you. Good morning again. On Sunday, February 9th, there will be a community membership meeting held here at the church and by Zoom. If you're interested in becoming a member, please call the church and sign up and come and get all your questions answered. The next thing, the board has 2 vacancies open. And why is that, you may ask? Sally Sion is terming out in June, and the other vacancy is from the transition of JG. At our last community update, we elected 2 governing members to be on the committee to search for people who may be interested in becoming a board member. And those governing members are George Piper and Kim McLaughlin. They will serve on the nominating committee along with Reverend James and Reverend Penny. They will start their search in March, and they'll have a table out in the courtyard with the applications on it. So if you're interested, please stop by, pick up an application. Once they're selected, the 2 members, then we'll come back to the church and have them voted on by the governing members. So that's our update for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie.
Remember, there are many activities that foster transformation in our lives. Check out our weekly small groups and other offerings. To discover all the happenings at SLC, go to our website. On site, you can peruse the bulletin board and then go to the hub to sign up for an event, such as Garland Landreth, which we just saw. We're ready to have sign-ups for him.
And at this time, I invite any of our board members or as chaplains are here this morning to please stand, and we can acknowledge you and let them know what you're doing. Our chaplains, of course, always wear the white stoles and are available to pray with you immediately after the service. If you happen to go through a challenge or any kind of roadblock or just want to celebrate something in your life, they're available to help elevate that energy that is always within and around each and every one of us. We thank them for their consciousness. And our board does a lot of work behind the scenes to keep us moving forward as a collective community, and they bring their time, their talent, and their skills, and all of their consciousness to our community, and we appreciate all that they do for Spiritual Life Center. So we thank them, and you can ask them questions if you have any about our community.
And we love to welcome our newcomers, so in a moment, we will ask those of you here with us to raise your hand. There are many ways to connect at SLC, and you can get more information about small groups, events, classes by filling out our online welcome card. If you're on site and you raise your hand, you can fill out the card and take it to the welcome table in the courtyard, where you will receive a special gift and a very warm welcome.
So if anyone's here for the very first time, just raise your hand. Any first timers here this morning? Well, it seems like we all know one another. We're all new today because we're better today than we were yesterday. So I invite you to join in just welcome everyone around you or someone around you, and just in a manner that feels comfortable for you, and say, you are marvelous and glad you are here.
Please be seated.
All right, let's take a nice deep breath together. And let's speak together our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
And now, in preparation for meditation, let's take a nice deep breath together and sing this beautiful chant, which so happens to be our mission statement: to love, to serve, and to remember. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come? To love, to serve, and to remember. Please join us in singing. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love? To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come? Why have we come? To love, serve and remember. 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 To love, serve and
As we embody these words, feel them within every cell of your body temple. As we begin this special communion with the Spirit of the living God, I invite you simply to settle into your seat. You can stretch your spine and relax your shoulders. And if you feel comfortable with that, closing your eyes. And rest in this presence. Ground your attention into the surface beneath you, the chair or your feet on the floor. And know and feel and notice that you are supported. Sense the energy of the space supporting you now. Notice the energy or presence of the surface holding you, as well as that of the air surrounding you. Take a few long, clearing breaths in any way that feels comfortable for you. Invite your thoughts to soften with each out-breath. Continue to notice the natural flow of your breath for a few moments. Allow the breath to flow at its own depth and pace. Each breath we take supports the body. So each breath is like an act of divine love. Breathe with this awareness, letting each breath be an offering of love to your body temple. As you inhale, feel a sense of love, compassion, and kindness growing inside of you. And let each exhale help to soften your thinking, mind, and any tension that you might be holding. Each breath fills you with love. Each breath awakens the energy of self-compassion. As you continue now, you might repeat to yourself, I love myself with each breath I take. I love myself with each breath I take. I love myself with each breath I take. Continue to sense into the energy of compassion that fills you. It fills you from the inside to the outside. Stay with that breath, and if you notice your mind wandering away, just return it to the flow of your loving breath. Let us stay here for a moment. I love myself with each breath that I take. I love myself with each breath that I take. I love myself with each breath that I take. Release any words from your mind now. And breathing naturally, sense into the surface that is supporting you. Reconnect with your body temple. You can move a little bit, wiggle your fingers or your toes. Know that the Spirit of God is moving through and as you. And if you want, you can slowly open your eyes and let the loving breaths continue to support you throughout this morning and throughout this day. And we are grateful and thankful. Amen.
Is who I am. Love is all that I can be. All that I can give and take is the difference that I make. Love is who I'm meant to be. And I'm living in your everlasting love. It's your hand upon me, filling me with love. Yes, I'm dwelling in your awe-inspiring, never-ending, overflowing, always with me, everlasting love. Love is all I see. Love is the truth of me. As I walk this path of mine, every step is so divine. Love is flying, flying free. And I'm living in your everlasting love. It's your hand upon me, filling me with love. Yes, I'm dwelling in your awe-inspiring, never-ending, overflowing, always with me, everlasting love. Holy Spirit, I am standing in your light, for it turns my life today from darkest night. As I reach to take your hand, I begin to understand all the things that have been hidden from myself. I'm living in your everlasting love. It's your hand upon me, filling me with love.
Thank you, Ann. Boy. No question, as you do, as all. I was just thinking that, anytime we have an opportunity to hear Spiritual Life Center, with Paula and Ann, Laree, all the guys in the band, every Sunday is a Super Bowl Sunday. Yes. Well, there was a woman named Julia. We'll call her Julia, not a real name. And she was a successful business person, woman. And she had a lot of accomplishments, a lot of achievements. She was, by all measurements, successful. But for some reason, she always felt that she was not good enough. She compared herself to other people. She did that on a regular basis. She constantly criticized herself. She did this almost unmercifully, and it was a weird thing to observe. She did this for every little mistake that she made. And she chronically and consistently engaged in a lot of negative self-talk. And all of this took a toll on her mentally. Took a toll of her health, and she felt sometimes exhausted and seemingly unhappy despite the idyllic life that she apparently had. And one day, a friend recommended that she, just check out a spiritual counselor. So she went to a Unity minister. And she listened, the minister listened as this person was kind of constantly berating herself. And then the minister just suddenly, out of the blue, unexpectedly asked, "Do you love you?" Kind of threw her off because she said, "Of course I do. Look at all I've done. Look at all the things I've achieved." But she left that session and that question stuck with her. And she said she reflected and had a revelation that she struggled with self-love because she had gotten a message throughout most of her life that there was something wrong with having self-love. That was being selfish and egotistical. And so she worked with that spiritual teacher and learned a lot about self-love. And she started to understand that she indeed was worthy of that love. She was worthy of happiness. And she didn't need to compare herself to anybody else. And she started to practice self-care and engage in activities that brought her more joy in her life. And she began to write, positive affirmations and surrounded herself with positive people. And she noticed that her well-being just increased, her health increased and improved. She became more and more confident. She became more resilient. And even all her relationships got better. But I think that person, Julia, practiced the rule known as the greatest love. We all know about the golden rule. And I'm not talking about the one that says that he who has the gold rules. That's another rule. Rather, the universal rule that says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a beautiful rule. We know that rule. It's encased in every major religion. I think it's written on one of the posters in the office. But there is another rule. And within it, Jesus made reference to it when he said to love thy neighbor as thyself. As thyself. This indeed, I think, is our greatest love. And it simply means that we're here to treat ourselves as we wish to be treated. And treat ourselves the way we want the universe, God, the force to respond to us in life. Many years ago, this is another story, I was working, apparently a mundane job at a furniture store. And I had a friend, she was a teacher's aide. And she didn't have, they weren't making a lot of money at that time. I don't think they do today, that doesn't matter. But I remember two things about her. Number one, she had, this is not really related to the story, but she had the most immaculate house I've ever seen, ever. I don't know if you've ever seen, you go to somebody's house and the light is shining through the window, and you'll see some particles of dust coming through, the light. Let me tell you, she didn't even have any dust from the air. That's how clean her house was. No dust at all. So that's one thing I remember. But the second thing I remember, we used to carpool from her work, because she worked like a block away. from where we lived, and she would, every week during payday, she would stop by this exquisite, exclusive, high-end store that was in this, they call it a design district. They sold accessories. And she would look in the store, and there were some great things in there. And one day there was something there that caught her eye. And she loved it, and she asked the owner if she could just, pay it over time. Back in those days, they had something called layaway plan. I don't know if everybody remembers that. Layaway, put a little here now and then, and then after a while you own it. And the owner agreed, and she made some payments on it. Some weeks she made a little bit, sometimes she made a lot, depending on what she had. But I was very aware that my friend was really pushing beyond what appeared to be her means to buy this particular item. But she did it anyway. And eventually she owned it, because every week we stopped by there. She got to go by the store, make a payment, look around. And after a while I asked her, well, you've been coming by here every single week to pay for this thing, and I know it's kind of challenging for you in your life. Why is it that you're doing this? Because you're not necessarily rolling in dough here. And she said, let me show you something. So she took me to the place she lived, and she showed me a room. And in this room, she said, it's a special place for me where I only allow the most beautiful things to be in there, because this is where I live. And the room was filled with positive words. I didn't even know anything about affirmations. Apparently, she was way advanced than I was. But had uplifting images in there, and you could not help but be inspired by being in that environment. And I realized that she was bringing a message that is relevant to us today, is that we often live with ourselves all of the time. As that saying goes, wherever you go, there you are, no matter what. So we want to examine ourselves. We want to see what it is that we're allowing to remain in our house, our consciousness. And we remember that great law of mind action that said thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. It's a beautiful law, and we want to recognize that, because we need to ask, are we holding beauty in our minds, or are we holding the crudeness of our day? We want to ask, at the end of the day, how does our memory serve us? Do we remember the things that went wrong that day? Do we remember all the obnoxious things that people may have said about us? Do we think about all the things that are not quite right with other people? Are we criticizing other people as if there's some sort of prize in it? Some people, they do that. We understand, though, when we do that, we keep the original. They only get the copy. We keep that energy. Or do we allow where we live to be filled with beauty? Do we allow it to be filled with upliftment? And I think that is an aspect of the greatest love. How are we treating ourselves? Are we treating ourselves in such a way that we want the universe to always treat us? I think one of the key benefits of practicing the self-love is that it helps us to form healthier relationships with other people. Because when we love ourselves, we are able to set boundaries and communicate our needs much more effectively to other people. And this allows us to even build better and stronger and more fulfilling connections with folks around us. I think self-love helps us forgive ourselves more rapidly. And if we can forgive ourselves more rapidly, we can easily forgive others for what they may have done to us, what we think they have done. And we can resolve those conflicts. We remember this thing that we can never probably love anybody else beyond how we love ourselves. So we develop the strategy to allow the beauty to remain in us. And when we do, more beauty rushes to us, because that's what we are interested in. That's where our attention is. Basic spiritual law says that whatever it is you are truly interested in is the only thing that you will really experience and take home with you. I think Jesus said something to the effect to lay up in treasures in heaven where dust and moth do not corrupt. And he was talking about that level of awareness of not using this memory, not using our mind, not using our being, but to hold fast to the negative, to hold fast to discontent, but to use this place as a place of beauty and love. And we can always do this because we always have that choice. I think to express this greatest love, we want to think that we're actually on, ourselves on a training program. Remember, as I like to say, we train the universe how to treat us by how we treat ourselves. We're sending out that signal. And to the degree we treat ourselves with excellence, with exquisiteness, with excellence, with compassion, when we treat ourselves magnificently, we enroll the entire universe into our training program on how we want to be treated. So we want to accept on a deep level, on a profound level, on a real level, that not only do you deserve the best, but you are the best that God has to offer. We don't say that in an egoic way, but we want to realize that some people are just so hard on themselves. They put themselves down in subtle and sometimes not so subtle ways. But we want to remember that God did not make junk. God did not make mistakes. God did not accidentally create anything or who and what we are. Because who and what we are is the absolute best as far as God is concerned, no matter what we may think about ourselves. So we want to take time to treat ourselves well, talking about taking that compassionate and spiritual hand and beginning to take care of ourselves. And like I said, sometimes people are critical of themselves, and we want to reverse that. You know, one of the exercises that I have to remind myself to do from time to time is that when you get up in the morning, before you start the day, just look in the mirror and just say, I love you. And as somebody told me, if you're not doing that at least once a day, if your mirror does not have your lip prints on it all day long, you need to start right now. So talk to yourself nicely, encourage yourself, love yourself. I even say when money comes in, do something nice for yourself, like my friend did. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. You can buy yourself some flowers when you're kind of feeling in a certain way. You know, when you don't think about just paying your bills first. We got to pay our bills, but also pay yourself. Take care of yourself. Kick back. I like to get into it. Sometimes when I feel I need to get back into that mood, because I said, man, I haven't taken a bath in a long time. I'm going to go ahead and just get in the bath, put some bubbles in there, have them floating all over in the bathtub, and I'm just having a one-on-one conversation with the presence of God and say, God, come talk to me. Let me know what's going on and all of that. Remember how great I am. Tell me it once again. And God will let you know. I think it's impossible to accept what God has given to us unless we put ourselves on that training program. And it'll respond to us on that level. Like I said, it's impossible for us to walk around not giving ourselves enough time, not enough encouragement, not enough love, not taking care of ourselves, and expect anybody else or anything else or the universe to respond in any other way. That would be for the universe to act out of its lawful nature. But the universe acts lawfully, it responds lawfully to the nature of the song we're singing ourselves in our own heart. So we don't want to say, oh, I don't have enough time to take care of myself. If you say, I don't have enough time, we're moving around in the world battered and scattered and all that kind of stuff, because that's what we train the universe to say and to do, and it will respond in kind. It'll say, well, if you don't have enough time to take care of yourself, well, neither do I. We want our affirmations to be totally different from that, because the world always answers our deepest feeling prayer, our real beliefs. It responds to us in that way. So when we begin to take care of ourselves well and believe that and feel that, something wonderful happens. I think when we practice the greatest love, which is self-love, we don't beat ourselves up anymore. We don't beat ourselves up for any mistakes that we have made, because a mistake, as I always like to say, simply means that we had, like an actor, when they have a wrong line, they said, oh, it's time to take another take. That was just a mistake. We can do it again. Take one, take two, take three, take as many as we want. Spirit doesn't care. But so many people practice what I call spiritual malpractice with their mentality. They're beating themselves up. And they beat themselves up so they can get to some so-called heaven. Sometimes they have a fantasy about all the bad things that they have done and did not do, maybe. And they're afraid to face the presence of God, thinking that some kind of retribution is going to happen. But I always tell you, there's no God like that. On some level, we may think there is, and so what do? Before God can beat us up, we may beat ourselves up. In hopes of saying, if God can see me beating myself up, God will have mercy on me. But that's a wrong God. You know what you're talking about. They may say, oh, my God, I messed up today. I'm a bad person. I did this. I messed up. I made a mistake. Oh, I'm a born sinner. Oh, my God. God, are you seeing this? I'm terrible. I'm not worthy. I'm hoping that God will say, well, look at him. Look at her. I guess I'm going to release them from the law. No, there's no way. There's no God like that. It operates lawfully. We must step into the kingdom of spiritual and loving consciousness and stop beating ourselves up. And then we begin to open up ourselves to the largesse of the kingdom. We don't want to beat ourselves up because we keep ourselves in bondage and limitation. So rather than practicing the greatest love, which serves what we do, we always want to practice that greatest love. The world needs that. I always believe that if everybody on the earth for one day would just practice full self-love for themselves, we would transform the world in a twinkling of an eye. We would never do anything to harm another person because we realize that person and I are all one in the same family. Anyway, we want to remember that. And always take in the good that the Spirit of living God has for us. I remember years ago I was in Morocco, and I think I shared a story about, when anyone said something good to another person. That was a very nice dress you got on today. They don't say this old thing. They say, oh, it's true, thank you. Oh, you have a magnificent smile. And they will respond, oh, it's true, thank you. Oh, you had a wonderful talk today. Oh, it's true. Thank you. They just take in the goodness that is around them. They accept that good, and they begin to radiate that in their life. So I just want to let you know, as we head into Valentine's Day, you are magnificent. And you can say it's true. Thank you. You are beautiful beings. It is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Taking all the good stuff that Spirit has for you. And you walk around and attract more and more and more and more of that in your life. Because that is the nature of God, that is the nature of the universe, and that is your true nature as an expression of God. So take that in as you go forth into Valentine's Day week. Love yourself, and then you can give all the love that you have to the rest of the world. Peace and blessings to you. Well, next week, I'm affirming and knowing that Deborah will be healed and well and had a cleansing, and she's going to come back and speak to us on your deepest hope. I think we had our highest prayer. Today is our greatest love, and next week, our deepest hope. So we're continuing on with this theme, and we invite you to be part of that next week. For those who are online, we invite you to support Spiritual Life Center with your gift or your offering, and you can do so by texting SLC Love to 44321, SLC Love to 44321, or you can go to our website, slcworld.org, and give in other ways, including by mail. And so with that, I simply invite you to join in to give in your way today, if you're here in person, or if you've already given online or electronically, know that you are in that flow of the Spirit of God that says that whatever you give out, it does come back in a wonderful way. So let's go forth now and affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
So many choices, so little time. So many mountains left to climb. But I know that it gets clearer as I get nearer to where I'm meant to be. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, and God only knows where I'm going. Everybody's trying hard to fit in. Got to feel good in my own skin. Gonna use my imagination for inspiration every chance I get. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, and God only knows where I'm going. I'm trusting my instincts, they're keeping me in sync with my head and my heart and my soul. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, 'cause God only knows where I'm going. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, 'cause God only knows where I'm going. I've got to follow my own road, 'cause God only knows where I'm going.
God only knows.
Yes, we can only be ourselves because everybody else is taken. So nobody can be us. So we take this time to thank those who have given to Spiritual Life Center this morning or any time throughout the week, knowing that not only they're going to bless this community so we can provide that place for those who are looking to grow, develop, unfold, and become the very best expression of the Spirit of God that they can be, but also they, as the givers, are benefiting as well. And we affirm and send loving energy to those who have left prayers in the prayer box throughout this week. For we remember that all of us have challenges on this road of life from time to time. But there is no challenge that the Spirit of the living God does not have a perfect solution for. So we remain open and receptive to receive that divine and perfect solution, that answer that may come from places that we never imagined or be something that we never thought of before. For as it says in that scriptural reference, before they call, I've already answered you. The Spirit has the answer before we know what the prayer is that we have, before we know what the question is we need to ask. And we simply accept that truth so that we can be the expressions of God that we are here to be. So we affirm that the answer has already been done, and that all we need to do is raise ourselves to be one with this energy, one with this answer, and see how the magic of Spirit reveals itself in a most magnificent way. We know these prayers will go on to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer energy. It'll be in an environment where they've been holding that consciousness for over 100 years constantly, and they will lift the vibration even higher. So we're grateful and thankful as we are part of this consciousness that says we are here for God more than anything else, and we're growing, developing, and unfolding to be the best that we are here to be. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And with that, Let us join together as we affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. I am, and all is well. Let us now join in as we sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me.
Peace and blessings. Have a great day and great Super Bowl team week, and may your team win.
What if you knew that you were beautiful? What if your smile was wild and free? What if you knew that you could take your time and everything would turn out fine? What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. What if every step of the journey was just as sweet as the final prize? What if you lost the map but you found the key? What if your life was so much fun you didn't need to try and get it all done? What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. So give it a season without a doubt. Give it a reason to work it out. Give it a chance, give it some time, give it your best. Give it a rest. What if the great big picture already dawned on everybody bright and clear? What if we give ourselves a break and let our differences be? If we could just sit still a minute, enjoy the human race and not have to win it. What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. so delicious and simple and brief. What a relief. What if every step of the journey was just as sweet as the final prize? What if we lost the map but we found the key? What if your life was so much fun you didn't need to try and get it all done? What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. What a wonderful, wonderful world. What a wonderful, wonderful world. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world this could be. What a wonderful
All right, guys, that was good.
Everlasting love too slow.